We're live.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the May meeting of the New York State Joint Commission on Public Ethics. Let's move to attachment A, please. The minutes from the public session April meeting. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none. Motion. Thank you, Dan. Is there a second?
Move. Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Weissman. All in favor?
New York City.
Albany. Buffalo.
That's it.
Okay, great, thank you. Item 3 on the agenda, report from staff. Seth?
Sure. Outreach update. A few things. We have now scheduled a CLE program with City Law, New York Law School. It looks like it's scheduled for September 26th. We're working on topics and panels. We will also have a new edition of the book that we put out 2 years ago, updated, reflecting changes in the law and the regulations, and that will be coming out in conjunction with that as well. This week, we'll be meeting with a group from Serbia. With Serbia on various topics. We've had these interchanges and with other countries over the past few years. I think we had Serbia, Bosnia, and Montenegro a few weeks ago. This is just a group of Serbian prosecutors and other folks involved with dealing with corruption there. We have an ethics reminder going out on crowdsourcing and the ethics involved with being involved with crowdsourcing as a public employee, as a public officer under the public officer law. Yes?
And actually, with slight correction, because
Please.
I misnamed it earlier. It's crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding.
That particular aspect of crowdsourcing, which is crowdfunding, is what we'll be delving into.
There we go. So, and this is the fundraising aspects of the law and what a public officer can be doing. We've continued with our special training. There was one for the Public Service Commission, and those specially geared trainings go on. So, in terms of outreach, that is where we are now. Annual financial disclosure
Great.
Statements, as folks who've participated in this annual right know, May 15th was the filing date. We, meaning JCOPE, will get the filings from the LEC and post those. Those will come to us, so they'll be ready for posting on or about June 30th for posting.
Yeah, they're due to us by June 30th, so it'll be probably the first week in July that they'll be out.
There we go, first week of July. Other than that, I think we've had fairly good compliance too. So that's where we stand on filings.
Okay,
year-end.
Next.
Steve, on the year-end, if you want to talk about whatever the year-end financial report is, closing out our fiscal year.
Sure. For the fourth quarter, we spent or expended $1,165,000 for the quarter, and just about $4,524,000 for the entire year, which was about 98% of our cash total. So we're getting a little close there. For non-personal service, which is comprised of supplies, equipment, travel, contractual services, we spent just over $254,000, or for a year-to-date total, $731,000, which was 80% of our cash target. And overall, we spent $5,255,000, or 95% of our cash target. All right. For next year, we got the same appropriation and the same cash allowance. The appropriation is $4,682,000, and the cash allowance is $4,620,000. So.
And I'll note also that, as with others, there's no reappropes. There's no reappropriation for the cash or from what was left over from last year. So, what we see in the budget is what we get.
So assuming salaries are going up and we were tight this year, are we in danger of overspending our appropriation in the upcoming year?
It's possible, but we have to manage it. You know, people come, people go. So,
Yeah, we have carefully managed to stay within. It's very tight. There are areas where I think more in the NPS area where we need, we may need some money, but we're managing it, and we've been in touch with DOB, and Steve keeps pretty good reins on our spending on this. So so far we haven't hit bottom on it. We're managing it
so far.
And that's it for year end. Update on the New York City and Buffalo office space, Monica?
Sure. So as we discussed before, the New York City office lease was expiring this year. We currently have a lease extension, but it is going to be renewed in the same building in New York City. There's going to be a short-term lease agreement for modification period while they renovate this building, and then there will be, after that is done, I think a 15-year lease. So the New York City office is going to be moving eventually to the 5th floor. So the work on this building is slated to begin later this year at the end of 2019, carry on through 2020, beginning with the lobby and the elevators, and then they're going to prioritize our space because we're not going to move twice. We're going to move right into our new space when it's ready, but that is anticipated to be, I think, early in 2021. So it's still way off, but the space will be slightly bigger than the current space. We will have a larger conference room, probably twice the size of our existing conference room. And then when all of the renovations are done, there will be a shared conference center on our floor where we can hold hearings and have our trainings. So we're really looking forward to all the work that's going to be done, but it's going to be still a few years out before we get to move. We learned recently that our Buffalo office, the building is going to have to be emptied out, and a significant renovation is needed to the building. So I expect by the end of the year that we will have more details, and they will be moving us out. They're currently looking for other appropriate office space for the state agencies in the state building. And when we have more information about a timeline, we will let you know. But they're in the process of showing the agencies in the building additional options for spaces, and they know what our requirements are. And again, when we know more about timing, we will let you know.
Thank you. I think that concludes, unless there's anything else, Seth, I think that concludes the public session. Can I have a motion to enter into executive session, please?
Did have one thing.
Oh, sorry, Commissioner Yates, go ahead.
Before we go into executive session, I want to repeat something I mentioned 2 meetings ago, and that is we don't have an appointment from the Senate Democrats, and that leaves us short, and it makes our work very difficult. And I'm hoping that there will be an appointment soon. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if I may just take a moment to put to our executive director. Is there any discussion going on with the legislature or any discussion anticipated about reforming the entire financial disclosure statement protocol?
I think there are 2 things I'll say. At a staff level, we are working on such a project, having a simplified FDS. We've been speaking to the Legislative Ethics Commission. We may even have one of our topics at the CLE on September 26, a panel discussion on the utility of the current financial disclosure regimen, including the form, and I think that will contribute to what I think what you're talking about and what all of us agree is the need for something simpler and more sensible. So to answer your question is yeah.
Yeah, and may I reiterate, Mr. Chairman, my very strong view that having 30,000 state employees file what I'll characterize as the long form is a waste of time and actually antithetical to what we're trying to get done. So I strongly urge the staff to propound the idea of reforming all of the FDS protocols to the legislature. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, that's just going to be something, as you know, of course, it's not an administrative act. It'll be up to the folks that go in and negotiate that sort of stuff. We don't really have a seat at the table, but we are giving it we're giving it thought and coming up with some practical suggestions.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anybody else? Okay, can I have a motion to enter into executive session, please?
Motion.
Thank you. Second. Thank you, Commissioner. All in favor?
New York City, but Commissioner Yates stepped out.
Buffalo, Albany, and WebEx.
Okay. Thank you. Deering. Okay, thank you. In executive session, we authorized steps in several investigative matters and discussed several other investigative matters. I'd also like to make the following announcement. After serving more than 3 years as executive director of JCOPE, and after more than 20 years of public service, Seth Agata notified the commissioners prior to the April meeting that he will be stepping down following the June meeting. Seth will be joining a law firm to again pursue the private practice of law. I have established a subcommittee of the commission to begin searching for a new executive director, and a job posting for the position will be made shortly. Thank you. At this point, can I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Commissioner Jacob. Second. Thank you, Commissioner Horwitz. All in favor?
WebEx, Commissioner McNamara in Buffalo, and unanimous.
We're unanimous in New York. Unanimous in New York. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. See you next month.